Good morning, traders and investors. Welcome to the fifth episode of our EquiTalks program. Today is March 12, 2019, Tuesday. My name is JC De Guzman, and today I'm going to talk about Now Corporation. For those who are new to this EquiTalks program, let me give you a brief background about what this program is about. Every single day, I pick one stock and then I give you my technical analysis. Then I share with you my overall sentiment. And finally, I share with you my trade setups. Okay, regardless if you already have a position or you're still tinkering on whether or not you will trade the name. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. Just in case you missed the previous four episodes, you'll just have to visit www.equilis.com and then check out the learn menu. There's a learn page there, just like what you're seeing on your screen right now, and then you hover your cursor on the learn menu and then click any of these three pages: EquiTalks video, EquiTalks audio, and EquiTalks note. If you are a visual learner, go to the video page. If you are an auditory learner, let's say you can't watch right now but you can listen to, maybe while you're driving or on your way back home or going to the office, you can click on EquiTalks Audio. Now, if you don't like to read, if you don't like to watch, if you don't like to listen, you can actually read the transcribed version. There's a transcribed version for this EquiTalks. So just head over to the EquiTalks note. Okay, now before we talk about the chart of Now Corporation, let's check if it has any dividend announcement. Well, apparently it has zero dividend announcements as of this time of checking. Okay, now let's take a look at the chart of Now Corporation, and later on we're also going to check the price volume distribution review for this stock. As of this time of checking, March 12, Tuesday, Now Corporation is currently being traded at 2.85 as of recess. Intraday high is at 2.90 and the intraday low is at 2.82. So I've already pre-plotted this downtrend channel here. This is actually rooted all the way. Actually, this is rooted all the way to February 15. So this downtrend channel originates since starts. It started since it has started since February 20. Maybe sometime in the third week of February last year, 2018. So as we can see now, the downtrend is still uh, traversing this channel. And if this low volume continues, did you see that? I had to zoom in just to check where the volume is. There's actually relatively low volume. That's why the price of Now Corporation has just been moving sideways, or in a sideways direction for how many weeks already? For not just weeks but months, since I think this is since November last year. It started to trade the range, and which range is that? It's between 1.98 all the way to somewhere near 4.30. Okay, because of the low volume. So traders think that there's no positive catalyst yet on Now for them to be interested in buying the stock at a higher price. That's why the price the behavior of the price movement is still in a sideways movement. But if we're going to zoom out the chart, if we're going to take a look at it on a long-term scale, it's obvious that it's still traversing the downtrend channel. So now, as far as the alignments of the moving averages are concerned, or is concerned, by the way, I'm using 10 SMA, 50 SMA, and 200-day SMA. As far as their alignment is concerned, we can see here that the longer term SMAs are the ones above the shorter term ones. That's actually a confirmation that this stock is already still moving inside the still moving bearishly inside the short term and long term time period. Okay, so it's both bearish in the short term and long term. That's the situation up now right now. Okay, so there you go. Main support is at 1.98. Main resistance is at it's near 5.94. Now let me make some comments about its net foreign trade. I'm sure you would like to know if foreign investors are net buyers or net sellers for 2019 year to date on Now Corporation. They are net foreign sellers. If we are to Yeah, let's say we will include this total net foreign buying amount last January 14. How much was that? It's about 17 million pesos worth of net foreign buying. Now let's take a look at this net foreign selling last January 31. It's only worth about 7 million pesos, so I think it's more or less in a net foreign buying state, but it's not that significant. Even if this will turn out to be a net foreign buying for 2019 year to date, it's not a significant amount. That's why I'm not going to factor in the participation of the foreign investors when I come up with an overall sentiment for Now Corporation. Okay, MACD, although it's still above the signal line, it's still way below the zero line. So for me, we still have to wait for the price to register a price higher than its 10 SMA, and preferably with a positive volume above its 10-day volume average, and if possible higher than its 10-day volume average, because we know for a fact that flimsy volumes, we've seen nothing but flimsy volumes for the past few weeks. So it's not enough. It's not enough to say that Now Corporation is on its way to a reversed direction once it closes a price above the 10 SMA, but with volume that's just barely above its 10-day volume average. So if possible, I would prefer to see uh, volume 200%. I would prefer to see 200% of its 10-day volume average to be coupled with a green candlestick. When that happens, when that combination happens and the price soars above the 10-day simple moving average, maybe there's a chance. Maybe we can consider that as as a signal that traders may have already seen some catalyst for them to buy the stock at a higher price. But for now, uh, it's obvious that almost everyone, generally speaking, is still in an eavesdropping mode on Now Corporation. Nobody wants to buy at a higher price. That's why again, I'm going to say this again. The price has been moving in a sideways direction since November last year. But overall, when we zoom it out, we see that it's still in a downtrend channel since February or yeah, since February of 2018. Now, when it comes to the risk level of Now Corporation, it's still a low risk stock because of its volatility, historical volatility score of 36%. Okay, again, this is an example of this is a perfect example of not because it has a low risk level, it doesn't mean it's an automatic buy. No, you just don't blindly buy any stock that just because it has a low risk um, level based on its volatility score. Okay, you will have to check on other parameters such as volume. Yep, volume. Okay, as always, I mentioned this one in my other video that volume is king when it comes to short-term trading. Okay, so before I talk about my overall sentiment, let's take a look first at the prices or range that got the biggest volume and the highest number of trades as of recess today, Tuesday, March 12. Okay, so as of recess, now Corporation closed at 2.85, currently down at by 1.38%. Um, the net foreign trade as of recess is a negligible net foreign buying worth 2,860 pesos, not even worth to mention. It's not worthy to mention that, but for what it's worth, I just gave that information to you. Now, the range that got the biggest volume and the highest number of trades is between 2.83 to 2.89. Okay, 2.83 to 2.89. But if I were to pick specific price points instead of a range, then I would give you 2.83 all the way to 2.83, 2.84, 2.85. Okay, I think this is the best range that you need to watch out for. That is if you have a position on Now Corporation and you decide to trade the name. So you'll have to watch out for 283 to 2.85. There's a chance for this stock to hit below 2.80 level because the biggest the range that got the biggest, or the price points that got the biggest volume and the highest number of trades uh, are are super close to its intraday low of 2.82. So when the when the force of the bears increase this afternoon, just in case it will further increase this afternoon, then they might pull down the price even lower than 2.80. So you need to be, uh, of course, on top of your trailing stop loss so that you're not going to incur some losses beyond your tolerable risk. Okay. Now, my overall sentiment on Now Corporation is bearish. It's not neutral to bearish, but completely bearish because I don't see any reason yet to be neutral in my sentiment on Now Corporation because of the absence of significant daily volumes. Okay, I can't rely on the participation of the foreign investors because they are not actively trading Now Corporation as well. So it's just a game of volume now. So it's as far as technical analysis is concerned, I'm just particularly interested to see a spike in volume of Now Corporation, and if possible, it's in favor of the bulls. But yep, for now, it's a bearish sentiment. If you don't have a position in Now Corporation yet, that's a good decision. I would recommend that you watch it below 2.80. Once it breaks down below 2.80, you start monitoring near 2.0. Okay, near 2.0. This is a midterm support, this 2.80. It acts as a midterm support already. So if it breaks down below 2.80, you watch near 2.0 per share. What if you already have a position on Now Corporation? Let's say your average price is higher than 2.85, which is the current price. What's my recommendation then? You will need to be on top of your trailing stop loss. Now, if you're asking me, JC, what's trailing stop loss? This is the first time that I've heard of that. All I know is that you just have to buy and forget about your plan on selling. Okay, silly me. Okay, now let's say this is the first time that you've heard about the concept behind trailing stop loss. If your average price is higher than the current price, I would suggest you calculate your trailing stop loss from your average price. How is that? Let's say you would like to risk up to 10% of your trading capital on Now Corporation. Let's say your average price is at 2.90. Since your percentage of risk tolerance is 10%, all you have to do is to get the 90% of your average price. What's 90% of 2.90? Okay, pull out your calculator. That's a simple arithmetic. The answer to that, okay, the answer to that um, is the position of your trailing stop loss. Okay, so once that price is hit, then you have to sell. You have to respect your trailing stop loss system, because if you calculated your trailing stop loss and once it gets hit and you don't respect it, it doesn't make sense having a risk management uh, when you do that. Okay, the reason why you have to respect your trailing stop loss, why you have to stick with your risk management system, is so that you can protect your capital, you can preserve your gains if there's any, and you can prevent unbearable losses. So those are three letter P's that a trailing stop loss can give you. Okay, it protects your capital, preserves your gains if there's any. Lastly, it prevents unbearable losses. So I've given you my technical analysis, overall sentiment, and trade setups for Now Corporation. I do hope you'll find this video helpful, and if it is, please um, make sure that you follow our YouTube channel. You subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on SoundCloud, um, on Facebook, join our Facebook group. If you're watching this video on YouTube or listening to this on SoundCloud, you will see our social media channels on the description. Um, Follow us there so that when we upload a new video or an audio file, you'll be one of those first people who gets notified. Okay? Again, this is the fifth episode of the EquiTalks program. My name is JC De Guzman. Have a great day.